All right, so today we're going to go in and we're going to kind of finish up that, or I'm going to finish up the practice assignment. Got a few more of the panels to finalize. I have uploaded a new one. If you want to upload it, it'll match the one I'm working on today. I'm going to open up the old one first, though, that I did yesterday, because we got mostly through it, I think. Let me open up both of them. Oh, yeah? Okay. That's all right. No worries. I love that artwork. It's so pretty. All right, so this is the updated one, just a heads up. It's got a new panel for, hold on, it's locked up here, for panel number 3 for the Pathfinder tool, or Shape Builder tool. So if you wanted to get a screenshot, it is available for you. Grab a screenshot, throw it into your one that you're working in if you want to. Now, where do we stop? Let's go back here. So let's go over this one real quick since David had a question on it. That's what we're here for, right? Answer questions. So we've done the strokes. You had no problem with that, right? Okay. So now I'm going to trash these and we're going to do the expand appearance. I'm going to copy these strokes over to this board. And to make that happen, I just double clicked on the artboard I wanted to go to and I said Command F for front and it pasted it right where the other one was on the original artboard. So if we do a Command Y, we see there's nothing but paths here. There are no shapes, but what we want is we want to be able to add a stroke and then no fill or any fill. We could add a colored fill if we wanted to. So in order to do that, we first have to expand appearance, and we could do that all at once. So I'm going to grab all of these together. I'm going to go to Object, Expand Appearance. So now when we look at it, we're still going to see paths, but they are editable now. Like the zigzag, I could literally go in here and I could move it, whereas on the other one, I couldn't move any of these little points. So that's the whole point of expand appearance, but that's not the end of it. In order to get the effect that we have on the left side with a stroke around the edge, what we need to do now is grab them all again. And we need to go to Object. We need to go to Path. And we need to go to Outline Stroke. So it's actually going to make an object out of the actual stroke itself. So once we do that, you will see in Command Y that we now have shapes. That work for you, David? Yeah. Okay. So now all I have to do is flip that fill to a stroke and I'm good to go. And that's all it is. It's just a different, there's so many different pieces and parts to just a simple path. And knowing how to manipulate them is a key to doing well in Illustrator. That's all right. Thank you. So we went over that one. We did the blending. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the blending one since I'm here and it's not finished. So using my space bar to roll down to the bottom, panel 10. Currently, it is just 2 circles as we blended them together yesterday. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit so I can fit 2 of them on here. Because I want to see the blend and I also want to see it separated. So don't forget that. I want to see a black and white version that I can Command Y and see just 2 circles. And then I want to see a broken up version that's colored and I want to see all the circles on that one. So don't expand both of them, just one of them. I want to see that you used a blend. So I want it to be red and green, or I can make it whatever color I want. But in order to do that, it's not going to let me as it is. So I'm just getting it nicely arranged on my artboard because composition is super important. My first one is going to stay the same. My second one, I'm just going to zoom in. And if I try to color this right now as just a blend, what's going to happen is it's going to make it solid color, which is not what we want. We want to be able to pull each little circle out like a jigsaw, like the kind of like the paper cut project. To start with, what I need to do is I need to go to Object Expand, Object Fill and Stroke, click OK. Now if we do a Command Y, you can see all these circles have been generated from that blend. All those copies that I asked it to make have now been created and made into shapes. But if I go and try to color it, it's still going to go solid because they need to be separated. Now I'm going to try the Pathfinder tool to see if that will work. I'm sure it will. That's one option. So I'm going to say maybe divide. And let's see if that worked. Can I pull this apart now? Let me ungroup it. Did it divide? Yes, it did. So you can use the Pathfinder to divide and then ungroup, or you can use the shape builder, which is always my go-to. I just, for some reason, I just like clicking. It's like dot to dot. It's enjoyable. So shape builder went in. Let me ungroup. And now I've cut them into different little pieces. I can now color them individually. So I'm going to click on the first one and make sure my fill is up front and give it a whatever color I want. Let's say yellow. And then I'm going to go in, maybe zoom a little bit, and try to get the alternating circles, just holding my shift key. It's kind of hard to see. It's almost making me dizzy, but I'll get there. Make those a different color. Now I want to go in between and get those other ones with my shift key. Just trying to get them. If I don't get them the first time, that's okay. And maybe give them a different color. So I missed that one. So I'm going to go back in and do it again. And you can do whatever colors of the rainbow you want. You don't have to do alternating the same. I'm going to get rid of the stroke so we have a nice solid color. That's beautiful. That's a geometric pattern by itself right there, right? Really beautiful. It's as close as I can get to that. And I have a blended one right here, and I also have the one that is separated. That's what I want to see. All right, let's see what else. Okay, the shape builder tool. I'm going to go into the new version, and I'm going to steal this and put it in my new document. I'm going to go to Window Layers. I'm going to unlock it. Okay, there it is. This is what I want right here. Copy. Paste. So this is the original now. It's updated. You can actually see what I'm supposed to do here. Lock that back. Get on my working layer. I'm going to zoom in. First thing I got to do is recreate this shape. First thing, square. Hold my shift key down. Give it a stroke that I can see. And that mine's a perfect square. I'm not sure why the one behind it isn't, but it needs to be perfect square. And now I'm going to make this one of the circles. I'm going to start right in the middle. Click, hold, Option, Shift, drag. So there's circle one. And I can use my line tools in a minute to make sure that these are perfectly aligned. There's circle one. I'm just going to copy that circle and paste in front, Command F for front. And I'm going to shrink it down, holding my Option and my Shift key. Because if I don't hold the Option, it just resizes from the top. If I hold my Option, it resizes from the middle. There's my second circle. Copy again, paste in front, Command F. Do it again, Option Shift, click Option Shift and drag. You can see my stroke is getting thinner because I have my settings allowing it to do that, but I'm just bumping it up to what it needs to be. Let me change the color a little bit. All right. Is it mesmerizing your eyes? What color would work best? Red, pink, blue? Huh? Pink? All right. So now I need to make a teardrop shape. So I'm going to draw a circle. And I'm just going to kind of wing it to try to get little guides are popping up maybe a little bit. Just get my first circle down to make it roughly the same size. And we're going to be using the rotate tool on this one. But first I need to make my teardrop. So I'm going to get my direct selection tool, deselect, pull that point, that anchor point down with my shift key down to the center. And then I'm going to convert it to an angle like we did the other day. So instead of this curve right here, we're going to go click, and now it becomes an angle. And I'm going to duplicate this shape right here 4 times. So I'm going to click on my rotate tool. And as you can see right here, the pivot point is in the center. So if I try to duplicate this at this point, it's going to rotate right from that middle point, right? We don't want that. We want to take our shape, and let me pull it to the side so we see a little bit better. We want 4 copies. So I've got it selected. I go to my rotate tool. R is the shortcut. If I hold Option and click, it changes the pivot point and it takes it to wherever I click. So I clicked at the very bottom, and now it's got a pivot point at the very bottom. It's saying negative 38 degrees. I want it to be 90 degrees because I want 4 of these, and a circle divided by 4 is 90 degrees times 4, right? 360 degrees divided by 4 is 90. So 90 degrees, copy. So now I've got a 90-degree copy. Now I can do Command D, and I have a perfect cross of teardrops. And we'll do a little bit more of the rotate tool on the next one. But I've got my beautiful little clover leaf almost. I'm going to move it over, just grab it all. So there's my first shape done. I'm going to pull this over to the right-hand side. And I'm going to make 3 duplicates of it. I'm going to make it white too, with a white stroke. And you can color these however you want. So I'm going to click, hold, Option, drag. Click, hold, Option, drag. Command D for my third one. Just centering it up because I'm like that. So I want to see your original that you redrew. I want to see 3 copies, but they're all going to be different based on what's over here on the left. So first things first, I'm going to grab the first one. It's kind of hard to see. I'm going to take a screenshot of this, Command Shift 4, just so I can put it underneath my design temporarily. And I'm going to file, place that screenshot right there, that one. I could have unlocked the layer and done all that, but this is just as quick. And now I've got a reference that I can look at. So these are not vector, these are, if we do a Command Y, you can see these are just copies of the very first one I did. And we're going to combine them to look like these. And this is going to be using the Shape Builder tool. So I'm going to grab the first chunk, and I can grab them all at once if I want, but I'm going to do one at a time. This one needs to look like this one here. So Shape Builder tool. It's got 4 petals, so I want to join. I want to join these. I want to join these. I want to join these, and I want to join these. Just drawing right through with that little plus sign. Then we've got, there's no edges to the square, so I'm going to Option click on that so I get that negative sign. Option, get rid of that part, get rid of that part, get rid of that part, and that part. Now the rest of it looks pretty good. I think it's good. Looks exactly like this one, right? I'm happy. Second one needs to look like that. Grab the whole chunk, Shape Builder tool. This one doesn't have any circles. It looks like the whole outside is joined together. So I'm just going to draw through all of the outside pieces like that. And then the middle is missing. The middle circle is missing, so it looks like I just kind of joined these little triangles together here. Just like that. And it's done, almost like a wheel. Then we go to the third one. Shape Builder tool. This one looks like a propeller. So I'm just looking at it and seeing what I need to do here. So it's got these two pieces here joined. So these two are joined, these two, these two, these two. What else? The circles are all gone except for the middle one. I'm going to join the middle one all together. And then I'm going to get these joined together so it becomes one piece as well. And I could have made this by layering things, but that's not the point of this panel. It's to play with the Shape Builder tool. So when I go to pull this apart, it's all these different little pieces, right? So that's my little reference image. I don't need it anymore. I might take this and center it nicely on the page, like that. All right, we did the Pathfinder, we did the shapes, we've done the Shape Builder, we've done the strokes, the expand appearance. Rotate, we've done that one, we've done that one. So let's do the rotate one next. I need to recreate these original shapes first. So let's trash this. Goodbye. Zoom in on those shapes, go ahead and recreate them, and then we'll jump into the rotate part of this. And I could easily copy one of the shapes from before, but why not just go ahead and keep practicing with making these shapes, because it's just good. It's good to practice. Let's give it a different color, pink, and maybe a 1-point stroke. There we go. Basic circle, pull down the point with the direct selection tool, holding shift. If I don't hold shift, I could do all that. But if I hold shift, it keeps it straight. That point is selected. I want to make it an anchor point, a corner. So I converted the anchor. All right, this one right here is basically a stroke with a zigzag applied, and then I used the width tool to expand the thickness of the end. So I'm going to get just a line segment, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to go up to Effect, Distort, Transform, Zigzag. I want it to be smooth. I don't want it to be that big or wide or thick. So that's pretty close right there. I'm not going to change anything else. Click OK. I'm going to round the corners in my stroke panel, or the ends, should I say. So if I zoom in on that, you'll see they're going to be rounded here in a second, just like that. And now I'm going to use my width tool, which is something we have used before. And I'm going to pull the thickness of the top to be a little thicker than the bottom. And that is my shape. There's probably 50 other ways I could do that too, but that's the way I did it. I could bump the stroke up too at some point if I wanted to make it wider or thicker. And there we go. There's shape number 2. Let me do shape number 1 here. I'm just going to save these for later. So I got my 1 shape, got my 2 shape. It's not been expanded. I might need to expand it at some point. I'm not sure yet. So right now it's just a straight line. The next one, how do you think I'm going to make this? Yeah, we could do that. What do I start with? I could start with a triangle. I could start with this. I could start with that, right? Couldn't I? Let's get a circle, draw it on top. Let's do that. Yeah, Shape Builder or Pathfinder, whichever. I could do the minus front with the Pathfinder right here. And it's pretty close. It's got the edges are a little round, but that's okay. But why, I mean, a lot of people would use the pen tool. Why on earth would you want to use a pen tool for that? It's just a basic shape. That's what geometric shapes are all about. But I just lost my original shape, dang it. So now I gotta make another one. Dagnabbit. Pull it down, convert the anchor, perfect. So now I got my 3 basic shapes. I'm gonna take these over to the other side. And just move them there for now. But the first one I've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 shapes on this rotated, this sphere, kind of sort of circular path. So I'm going to take my first one, and I want to make 10 copies around this pivot point right here on the bottom. First thing I want to do is I want to click on the rotate tool while my object is selected. And how do I change the pivot point and pull up that panel? Does anybody remember? It's, yeah, option. So if I click option, hold option down and click, it automatically gives me this panel. And it keeps my pivot point on the point that I want it instead of the center. So how many degrees are in a circle? Huh? 360. So to make 10 copies, I need to divide 360 by 10, which is what? 36 degrees. Or we could do it 2 ways. I could do 36 degrees right here, and it's going to give me a copy when I tell it copy, and then I'll command D, 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 D till I get 10. Or I could do 300, if I'm not good at math, I could do 360 divided by 10. And it's going to do the same thing. It's going to move this circle 36 degrees to a different position, which it just did. And now I'm going to go command D 10 times. So if I look at the wireframe there, they're all perfectly spaced. It doesn't look like the original because my shape was a little bit different, but that's okay. But it's super cool. So there's my first one. My second one is using the other shape, the stroke with the wide end. So here it is. I'm going to pull it down, make a copy. This one's it's got a lot of different pieces, so I don't know how many, I could count them, but I'm just going to wing it. So zoom in. I've got my object selected. The rotate tool is next. Option, click to pivot point where I want it. If I want a pivot point over here, I could put it over here, but I got to hold option to pull up that panel. So I'm going to go option, click. So my pivot point is right there. This one is much smaller, so I'm going to do 360 divided by, I don't know, 20, and do copy. Command D, 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 all the way around till I'm all the way at the end. I wonder if I adjust one of these, will it make the others adjust? Let me find that out real quick. I probably won't. Will it? Nah, because I'm not using the mirror. But that looks kind of neat. I like it. It's beautiful. And then the next one, same thing. Get my rotate tool, option, click at the very point where I want it to rotate. And let's do 360 divided by, we'll say 10 for now to see what it looks like. Command D. So that one doesn't look very similar, so I might want to bump it up a little bit. So I'm going to go back in time. Try it again. Let's try 360 divided by 20. That looks a little bit more like the one in the reference. But when I do a Command Y on your file, I want to see these perfectly arranged and spaced items. You can do this manually. So if I wanted to do this manually, I could take this shape right here, get my rotate tool, click on this anchor point one time without the option key, and then I could click option hold and I could rotate manually, right? I could do this by hand, but I'm not going to get the perfect spacing that I want. So let's say I think, oh, that's going to work. When I start doing Command D, look what happens. It ends up not matching perfectly. So if you want to do perfect flowers, you need to make sure you do the option and pull that panel up and do the math. I've struggled with the rotate tool for so many years. It's crazy, but I finally figured it out. And there's more that it can do, but that's just a basic touch on it. All right, so next we're going to get into offset paths. Does anybody have any questions or need any clarification on the other panels before I finish up? Nope. Okay. This one, we're basically creating 2 circles, and then we're going to duplicate those circles. There's one. And the second one, option drag, just like that. I'm going to put it behind, so I'm going to cut, Command X, and I'm going to paste in back, Command B, so it looks just like this one. Bump up that stroke a little bit. Command plus, plus, oops, plus, plus. All right. So the object of this is the end result. We want to get these 2 circles to have a gap in between them, a beautiful even gap. And we're going to go into more depth with it on the YOLO one. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of this bottom circle. So I'm going to copy, Command C, and I'm going to paste it behind, Command B. So you'll see right here, I've got a copy of this circle behind, and let me give it a color so you can see it. It is behind the original circle. I'm going to bump up the stroke on this, and I want to make sure that in my stroke panel, I am doing the outside stroke. A line stroke to outside right here, because it's currently doing it on the center, and I want to go ahead and utilize it as efficiently as I can, so I'm going to outside. And you can see that stroke just got really thick. So from inside to outside is a big difference. I'm going to bump it up a little bit more based on the reference to get that gap that I want. So if I use the shape builder right now, is anything going to happen to this black stroke? Because I want to cut it out like this one, right? If I go over here to try to get rid of it, it's not going to work. Does anybody know what I need to do? Exactly. All right, I'm going to lock this, Command 2. So I've got the blue one right here. What I want to do is I want to object. I don't want to expand appearance. What I want to do is I want to go to path, object path, and I want to outline that stroke. So when we do a Command Y now, it became an object, just like we did with the blend, right? And let me see if expand would work as well. Hold on a minute. Object, expand appearance. It did, but it gave me an extra one I didn't need. But I can still use this, but I would prefer to do the object, path, outline stroke, and that just saves me a step of cleanup. Command Y. We're going back. Okay, so now we've got all 3 shapes. So now we can take our shape builder. We can option click to get rid of this piece. We can actually draw right through it. And I'm going to join these 2 circles together. Command Y. Now, if I had a red t-shirt or a black t-shirt or a blue t-shirt I wanted to put behind this, you can see right through it, right? It's gone. That piece is gone. It's literally disappeared. And that's what we want to learn how to do. So that one was pretty easy. And there's lots of different ways you can do it. But I find that that's just the easiest way to do it. And here's the final one. This is recreate the image below with careful attention to detail and accuracy. So you've got to do the background with the wiggle lines. You've got to do the colors in the background. You got to do the teddy bear with the smile and the eyes and the nose. You got to do the text, and then you got to knock it all out using a copy with a stroke and outline path. This one also on panel 6, I want the background done as well. So on panel 6, I want to see recreate this artboard to include both the background and the graphics. So you want to recreate the background too. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to draw a square first, or on the whole thing. Just get rid of the fill so I can see it. Give it a blue stroke. All right, so all I got to do to make this background work is draw a squiggly line all the way across. That's it. And to make a squiggly line, I'm going to take my line segment tool. I'm going to draw a line from corner to corner. And I'm going to cross over just a little bit because I know I'm going to need my shape builder tool here in a minute. So I've got this square with a straight line. I'm going to wiggle that line with the effect distort transform zigzag. Get it as close as I can. Smooth. Bump it up a little bit. It looks like they've got a few more little bumps here. So just get it as close as you can. That looks pretty close. I'm going to click OK. Now, this is where you're going to run into a problem. I'm going to grab this and take it to the other side so you can see it a little bit more clearly. Command plus, plus, plus. So if I try to use a shape builder right now to cut this in half, because I've got the wiggle line and I've got the square, and I want to cut each piece so I can make it red and black. Shape builder, it's going to make a straight line because I haven't expanded the appearance of this wiggle. So I've got to expand the appearance before it'll cut into those shapes. So object, expand appearance, Command Y, we now have a wiggle line. So now when I go and select the whole thing again, shape builder, I now have that wiggle line incorporated. I can click in each of these pieces. I can option click the little bits of trash I don't want. And I can now color these as two separate pieces. So I want the top one to be red. Click on that, make it red. I want the bottom one to be black. Now I could get rid of the stroke as well. Push X to flip the stroke, no stroke. Pop it behind everything. Command left bracket is a great way to make things go backwards. Oops, cancel. So that way I can see that you cut out your shape and you've also created the background as well. Same with this one. I'll go ahead and do the background first. Then again, maybe not. No, I think I'll do the teddy bear. All a bunch of little circles and a triangle it looks like. So get my shape tools and just start making a teddy bear. And just do the best you can. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine. Got two little circles for the ears. And another one. Just hold option and pull, and that gives you a beautiful duplicate. This has got some little cutout pieces. These are not colored red. They are actually cut out. So how I did that was I made, let's put a stroke on here. I made some copies of these circles. I made them smaller. And I put them right there. So I can cut out those little red bits. So if we end up using the shape builder here in a minute, I'm going to cut these out. So if I was on a t-shirt, you can see the color through the holes. We've got two eyeballs. There's one. There's another one. We got a little nose that's a triangle. So I'm going to use the polygon tool. I'm going to click three sides. Click OK. There's my triangle. I want to rotate it, so I'm going to rotate it around and pull in those corners. I'm going to shrink it down. Oops, my corner's kind of messed up. There we go. In fact, I didn't need to rotate it. Yeah, I did. So there's my little nose. It's a bit big. There we go. And for the smile, it's kind of a hokey smile, but I just used a couple of circles for that. Like that. I just grabbed another one. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Grab both, Shape Builder tool, Option, drag. There's my little smile. It's a really big smile actually, so let's shrink it down a little bit. So there's my basic teddy bear. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Shape Builder tool to chill it out or get rid of the pieces I don't want. Grab the whole thing. So I know I want to see through his eyes. I want to see through his nose, his mouth, and his ears. Shape Builder, Option, click, Option, click, Option, click, 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 click. And the rest of it's joined together. So I want to join all these other pieces together. Just like that. Now, no matter what color I put this on, you can see right through it. The ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. So there's my first part. Teddy bear done. Doesn't look exactly the same, but that's okay. We'll put him over there. And I'm going to put a green background on this one, just for demonstration reasons. And I'll change his color here shortly. Next, I want to type in YOLO, you only live once. Find a font that's similar. I don't have the font included, so I'm going to use capital letters. I'm going to find a nice blocky font, and I'm going to make it really big to start with. Maybe an Arial black right here. And bump it up. Go ahead and center it. And I can make it as big as I want. So the objective of this is to cut these letters out. So if I put this green background behind this teddy bear, well, you can't see it right now, but because it's a PNG, but I want to be able to see through these pieces right here. Just like I can see through the nose, the eyes, and the ears, I want these to be cut out of the teddy bear. A lot of people will just throw a stroke on the YOLO and make it the same color as the background, and that would work. But that's not what we want to do. We want to cut it out. So in fact, I'll do both. So let's do one up here and one down here. So the easy peasy way is to make a copy, paste it behind, make it green, throw a green stroke on it, bump it up, and wow, it looks like magic, right? You can see right through that to the green, right? But you can't. If I change the background of this t-shirt to a blue, that's what you get. You get the green stroke, right? Which is not good. The point of this is to get rid of that shape on the YOLO, so you cut right through that teddy bear. Let me get rid of the stroke on this. It's driving me insane. So that's the one way you can do it, which is the wrong way. Then the right way would be the way I do it. I would take my YOLO, I would make a copy, I would paste behind, Command B for back. So there is a copy back there. I would add my stroke. Again, I would make sure that, where's my stroke? Bump up the stroke. Huh? I could do that too. I just find it easier to do it like this. So bump up the stroke. Let's give it a different color, but we'll do both ways. So just so I can see it, a nice thick stroke on the back one there. So I've basically got a copy behind. I would go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke. Oh, I need to outline my text first, sorry. Type, create outlines, Bring it back. So now I got to do it again. I've got to do the offset path, object. It's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? Object, path, outline stroke. There we go. All right, now we got it. So yeah, it got a little confusing because I didn't do the outline the text first. But now if we look at the wireframe, you can see all this stuff right here. We want to knock this little piece out of here. So I'm just going to grab the whole thing. Teddy bear and letters. Shape builder, option, drag. But that is a little slow. So I'm going to try it with the offset path because that works too. And then I would have to join all this back together and all that. Get rid of the strokes on the other pieces. Becomes a little tedious. So let's grab the original one. Duplicate it. So before you use the offset path, David, did you outline the text or did you leave it editable? I was just asking what you did.
Oh, now I was asking if that was another option.
Let's see.
Isn't that what we had to do for the stickers? The offset path, we can just delete the
Why won't it let me get it? Okay, hold on. I just locked it up. Hold on. Let's take this over here.
You know what I mean, though?
So let's do this. So what you did was you basically left the text editable, and then you did an offset path.
I think so. I don't know. However, we did it for the stickers to create that little gap.
Yeah. All right. So
and then do the shape builder and then just delete the
yeah.
part.
I'm trying to think if it's doable while it's still text or if it has to be outlined. So let's just test it. Object, path, offset path. Let's give it a, I don't know, 0.125, 1/8 of an inch. Click OK. Nothing happened. So it must have to be outlined first. So we're going to click on that. We're going to outline it, meaning it became shapes now. Now let's try it. Object, path, offset path, 0.125, click OK. Now we grab it, right? We get our shape builder. We option click to get rid of the stroke. Yeah, that's a little bit more effective and fast.
For the anchor point that's on the circle on the face, you can just delete the anchor point and it'll close that.
This one right here? Yeah. Get your pen tool. Just click right there and you've got a beautiful circle. Or I could have joined it with the shape builder. So that works. That was probably the most effective way to do an offset path. I tried that the other day and it kept, when I did the offset path, it joined to the letter itself and there wasn't an extra, it didn't cut it in half for some reason. So there's my little teddy bear. It looks like I've got a little bit of extra here I need to clean out because of the offset path right here. So I'm just going to get my shape builder and knock that out with the option. Negative part. So now when we put this on the blue background or the green background, you can see right through it. So it might take a little trial and error to get this done. Even me, it does. You get stuck in those old ways of doing things and all these new tools are coming out. It's hard to grasp sometimes. But there's lots of different ways to do it. So I only need one of these, so I'm going to trash all the other ones. So if you got to do it 5 times, do it 5 times. Get it done. Do it right. Make it look good. This needs to just be white. I'm going to make it white. And now I'm going to recreate the background again, and then we're done. Draw a square. Do a wiggle line. Right through the middle of YOLO. And I'm doing this on purpose so I can see that I can see through your letters. Let's do an effect, distort, transform, zigzag, smooth. Something like that. Click OK. We got to expand it again. And now we can grab both the background and the wiggle line. Separate them with the shape builder tool, hopefully. Yep. And now we can change their color. I'm just going to click on the eyedropper, get the red. V for Victor, eyedropper, get the black. Move these to the back with Command left bracket, however many times I need to click on it. And get rid of the stroke on these, and I'm done. YOLO. All right, so I'm going to walk around the room and take a look at how everybody's doing. If you have any questions while I'm walking around, please let me know. That's what I'm here for. Question, Kalani?
Yeah. How do you do the blending?
All right, what do you got so far? Just the 2 circles? All right, let me just do it. Would it be better on here? Okay. So Kalani's got a question on the blending. So let's go down to here and let's just trash this. Let's put it right there. Well, you've already got the 2 circles. So you've got this, right? All right, so let's pull this up. Plus, plus, plus. Command Y. So only 2 circles. Let's go back in here and get rid of the blend. Cancel, object, blend, release. Okay, so we start out with the 2 circles nicely aligned with the alignment tools. We grab both circles. And let's do different colors on these circles real quick. Let's just do one orange and we'll do one blue. Let's bump up the stroke a tiny bit so we can see it. So I've got 2 circles. I'm going to grab both. So I've got them both selected. I'm going to double click on my blend tool and it pops up my blend options. I want to drop this down to say specified steps. And you can do as many as you want, but just try to do it as similar as the reference. So 8 is what I went with. I'm going to click OK. Nothing's going to happen until I tell it to. So I've got to take this tool right here. It's loaded up and ready to go. I've got to click on anchor points. So it depends on which anchor points I click on. So I'm going to click on the top one. And I'm going to click on the top one of this one. So now we have the blend. Isn't it beautiful? So the other option is you click on one, try a different point on the next one, see what happens. It blends a little bit differently, not that much differently, but try to find, can I do it on the actual line itself? Yes, I can. You don't have to be on an anchor point. So as long as you click in on the line somewhere, you're going to get that beautiful blend. Now, if I wanted to change the color of either of these at any point, I can literally go in and grab just the one in the middle with the group selection tool, and I can change the color. I can click on the outer one and change the color. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful tool. So that's how to get your initial blend, and that's just the 2 circles. It's not been expanded yet. So we want to do the blend, and I want to see that. I want to see this by itself, just like that. Now we're going to duplicate it, and we're going to separate all the circles. So I'm going to zoom in. So we leave that one like it is. We take this one, we grab the whole thing. We do object expand appearance or expand. Sometimes expand appearance is there, sometimes it's just expand, but they both pretty much do the same thing. We want it to do all of these things. Click OK. So now when we do Command Y, you can see all the circles. It's separated all those blends and made them actual shapes. But we still can't color it until we separate them physically. So we can use the Pathfinder for that, and we can divide, which is really quick. And now let's see if it ungroups naturally. It doesn't ungroup, so you have to ungroup it. Object ungroup. So now it's all separate pieces. And then you can go in and color them however you want. A rainbow might be pretty. Let's do a rainbow. Red. Oops, it's doing the stroke, not the fill. There we go. Let's do yellow. Dang it. I'm just locking each one as I go so I don't have to go clicking on the wrong thing. Let's do a light green. Let's do a blue. And I'll get rid of the stroke here in a second. Let's do a purple. just locking with Command 2. And I'll unlock it all here in a minute. Let's do an orange. Let's do a pink. All right, so unlock Command Option 2. Take off the stroke. Now we have beautiful rainbow. And then if I do a Command Y, I want to be able to see both the blend and the expanded version. Good. How's it going, Sam? Are you already working on it?
Yeah.
Well, you've got to think about this being on a, it's geometric shapes. So look at the reference in the actual assignment. At the beginning, go into assignments. It should open up. We're looking at filling each square with really cool geometric shapes. So they work together. So each square is, I think, 2 inches by 2 inches. So you're going to be doing 12 of them, not this many. But they're just repeating each other, right? So keep it real simple. So on yours, like go back to yours, there's a lot going on here. So I might simplify it into, 2 or 3 of those shapes, and then maybe drop them into different cubes as you move forward, but also add new elements.
Okay.
Yeah? All right.
How are you doing that? Good. All right.
So you're doing the offset path. Okay, it looks good. If you click OK, do a Command Y for me and let's see what happens. So you can see that it's there, and you can, if you select those few pieces together now, you can use your shape builder to get rid of that empty spot, or make that spot empty.
Yeah.
That just has a stroke on it. It just has a stroke, so you can see it. I'm sorry, I didn't get confused there. So what you need to do right now, you're good. Grab these 3 circles or whatever, and use your shape builder tool to just knock out that path. No, it's just a stroke. I was wanting to get rid of just the gap. That's all it's all about. Trying to get rid of that gap. I'm sorry, Dan. Did I? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Third time's a charm.
That's awesome.
So you're at the point right now where that's just for reference. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's probably, that's kind of weird. Well, stroke, you have a 0.25, maybe bump it up to a point, 2 points or whatever. Good attention to detail though, I like that. Still not showing up? So open up your stroke pen. Sometimes this is how I do, you can make it on the outside, you can go on the inside or the middle of the path. So sometimes you gotta adjust that too. So now you can just get your shape builder, hopefully, and just knock those pieces out. Why did you have to move it?
To keep it editable or what? You moved, why did you move YOLO down and then put it back in place? Just now, remember? See how it's separated down here? Why is it down here? Okay, you still need it though, right? So hide it, don't move it, just hide it. It's so much more precise, just Command 3. Just hide it if it's in your way. Now you can select the teddy bear and the other part and cut that out. And then Command Option 3 to bring that back to exactly where it belongs. Good? All right. How you doing, Christian? Cool. Man, that looks almost identical to mine. Doing okay?
Just gotta do this one.
All right. Isn't this the coolest tool ever? Yeah, it's gonna be really handy. Y'all done it yet? Yes, sir. Can I sit there for a second? Thank you.
I always jump the gun.
It's all right. Let's go to Command 0. I'll just start the box. Good. Pretty perfect to me. Find it helpful to refresh your skills? Good. Any trouble with this one? Take down a natural two? Good. Did you use the offset path or the copy and paste back? Okay. Only thing I might mention, composition. Pull it up, make it look beautiful. Do some minor, if you have any other ones, like that one was a little bit off. That's, it's just a tiny little detail that matters. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. The rest of them look pretty good, but go through them each one more time just to make sure they look just perfect. That would be great. You doing all right, Benyek? Yeah, any questions? Oh, you're having a nightmare with that one, aren't you? You want me to show you again real quick?
Yeah.
All right, let me sit there. You're fine. Teenagers. All right, so let's see here. So we got, I'm gonna go back in time a minute, okay? Oh, maybe not. Let's put that teddy bear, nice teddy bear. Let's get yellow, stroke on it. It's got a stroke on it. Let's flip the color. Let's get it back to the letters itself. So kind of what you were just doing. It won't separate, why is that? All right, let's try something else real quick. I'm gonna get rid of yellow. I'm just gonna retype it real quick. And that was a different font. That's kind of cool. All right, so let's do that. No, it's just something similar, something easy. Oh, you redrew this?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's why, okay.
And it's a new setting.
All right, so we've got the
Anyone
text.
that's close to this.
First, we gotta outline it. So we're gonna go to type, create outline. Right. So that makes it an object. It's now a shape, right? All right. This is real easy, thanks to David. He kind of updated me on the technique. Grab your text. You go to object, path, offset path. It's going to push a stroke on the outside. So we offset the path. Let's do, instead of that much, it's kind of big. Let's do it 0.5. 125, which is an eighth of an inch. See what that looks like. Okay, it's there, you just can't see it. So that's good. We're gonna go ahead and now we're ready to chop it out. We're gonna grab the whole thing. Get that shape builder tool. Option, remember option turns into a negative. We wanna get rid of these bits right here. That piece, that piece. And then we're gonna have to manually get rid of all these other little pieces that get added to the text itself. The inside there, inside here. Just holding my option key down to get rid of these extra offset paths that we don't need. Oh, joining pieces together. So there's a little bit right here on the joint teddy bear. So now, if we, let's just make it all white or all black. With no strokes. There's a tiny bit of cleanup here, but that's easy fix. Let's zoom in on it. And maybe we can get our group selection tool, just take that little piece off. What's going on there? So now if we put a background behind it of any color. See right through it, right? So let's go back in time.
Try to do the rotate and transform part.
Just get this before I outlined it. And I want you to do it right here and I'll let you do it.
And it'll come for rotation. So your cursor will open the box. I have on the box.
Go ahead and select it first.
Choose how much you want to make.
The rotate is the one that.
And you're
looks
gonna
like
do
an
type create outlines.
arrow.
Perfect. Now,
Option.
is your teddy bear
Hold down
selected
option.
too? Just select the text itself, just the text, because that's the only one we want to
You
do
wanna
the
create the
offset
div
path.
first?
We want to go to object path,
Now you can just press the
offset
copy.
path,
Yeah, just a copy.
and it's already set up for the 0.125, so click OK.
Okay.
Now do a command Y so you can see that it did do something, right? So now what we're going to do is select the whole thing. And do the shape builder tool and the option key to minus. There you go. And hold it down just to get rid of the pieces that you don't want. It's, like I said, it's added an inside stroke and an outside stroke. It's a little tedious, but that's just the way it's done. But now you got that cut there. Yeah? All right, cool. You doing all right? Oh, gosh. I just done.
I do it all.
No questions? All right. David, oh, Campbell, be right with me.
How do I do the stroke?
From this to that?
Yeah.
Oh, this part, okay, click
Yeah,
on, okay, click on this actual stroke. So Command Y for me real quick. All right, so it is a stroke, Command Y again. So there are profiles, and they're up here. And this one's asking for profile 1, and then the second one's profile 2. So there's profile 1, and it just refines the ends of your strokes. It's good to know that they're, right?
And just grab them and bring it down.
Yep, and then you do the expand appearance and path outline stroke. And then you can flip the color to become a stroke. Just grab everything.
Expand.
Yeah, first you expand, so object expand appearance. All right, so do a Command Y and see what happens. So basically there's still paths, right? Some of them are not, some of them are actually objects. This one isn't, so we gotta do a little work on that one. Command Y, go to object, path, and outline stroke. All right, now go to your swatches panel and flip it with that little arrow. Now you got it. Yep, and it just makes it solid objects
One more
instead.
thing.
Uh-huh.
This is actually a whole new file, but when this thing's just gone
Okay,
weirdly.
that's fine, you're doing fine. You've got till Sunday to get this done, so you're doing fine. What's up, Ian?
Where's the clue? It says that, but there's
It's not open, I'll open it, I'll open it. Doing all right, David? Yeah? Sweet. You having any problems with any of it?
No, that just this one was doing.
Okay. Good. Yeah, that's super easy, super easy. That's the easiest one. Odalis, you doing okay?
This thing doesn't like it. We can still attach.
Okay, man, let's get your shape builder. Click in each of those shapes. 1 and down, 2. Now, get your regular selection tool. Click away and deselect. Click over here.
Away.
Now click on the top. Now you can color. Got it? Yeah, sometimes you gotta deselect to get things to select again.
All right, Ian, let's see what we can do here. All right, I am good. And get as colorful as you want. This rainbow is just beautiful. All right, close that. Quiz. Make available. See if that worked, Ian. Oh, okay. He must have gone to the bathroom or something.
Yeah.
It did? Good, okay. It's just a simple quiz, just to get a grade in there.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
How do you do duplicates for the rotate and transform?
So first, you've already got, did you option click there? To get that point there? Did the panel pop up? It didn't? There we go. So we want, this one's got a bunch of them, so I figured out 20. So put 360, which is how much degrees are in a circle. And then the divided, which is the slash. And put 20. Now push copy. It's going to give you 1 copy. Is it there? It's a tricky little tool. Like I said, it's been a nightmare for me, but it's really good to know it. So let's go back out. Let's grab that, zoom in a bit. All right, duplicate. So we get the rotate tool, we option, click, that pulls it up. We do the 360 divided by 20 roughly, and we do copy, so it gives us 1. Then we do Command D all of it around. So if you don't follow it in exactly the right steps, you don't get the results. It's just annoying that way. But let's try it one more time when you do it. And there's probably a way to do it where it automatically makes the 20 copies. I haven't figured that out yet. But this is a good way to, if you're doing mandalas or something, you can try it. So first things first, let's go back to time one more time. Go ahead and start over with your selection tool and duplicate that shape. You should be able to get in now. So rotate tool first, option, click. Now you do the math, 360 divided by however many increments you want, and make sure you click on copy. There you go. Now before you do anything else, Command D. As many times as you want to get around that circle. And that gives you perfectly placed increments. Good, huh? Nice.
Thank
So tomorrow's just gonna be a work day. Question, Danny? So you'll be coming in and finishing this up. There's also, like I say, the quiz. You're ready to jump into your assignment. Go for it. I went into the stroke panel right here and do the show options. And you've got a profile on it. So do none, and then you do the rounded, but I think what I did was I used the width tool. So currently you've got an 11-point stroke, so let's chill it out. We're gonna get our width tool. Where is it? Right there? And then we can pull it just a little bit to flatten it. That's how I got to the original shape. Of course, there's many ways to do that, but that's how I did it. And then the rounded tip applies to the points part. No, I just, I would pick all caps, like a Arial black. That's what I use. Something bulky and bold. You can use whatever font you want, but it's gonna be more hard, it's gonna be harder to knock out if it's more intricate, so keep it simple.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording because I'm not doing anything. Did I not share my screen this whole time? I think I messed up.